Hi there and welcome to this video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up sub-collections or subcategories on your Shopify store. This video is a step-by-step tutorial dedicated for beginners, and after watching this video, you will be able to set up your sub-collections by yourself. I'm going to show you different ways of how you can set up sub-collections on your store, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You just need to follow my steps and that's it. Now, if you consider yourself a little bit more advanced in Shopify and you want a quicker version of this video, you can check this video on my YouTube channel where I discussed almost the same thing but in a faster, quicker way. So make sure to check it out if you are looking for a smaller tutorial where you just get the idea without all the technical stuff. Adding sub-collections to your Shopify store is extremely important because using these sub-collections, you can help your customers to navigate your store and to explore what kind of products you sell, and you can help them to find what they are searching for. While dividing your products into collections and sub-collections, it's very important to put your customers first in mind. You need to think about what makes sense to them and what they might be searching for. So if you sell, for example, fashion, you might be dividing your products between style, colors, gender, and so on. If you sell food, you might be going, for example, with lunch, breakfast, dinner, or maybe snacks, and so on. If you sell sports outfits, maybe you will go with the sports themselves. So you would do yoga, Pilates, running, and so on. Maybe you would need also to divide your products between gender and sizes and colors and so on. So make sure that your sub-collections make sense to your customers and make sure that they are there to help them to explore your products more, to understand more what you sell, and to find what they are searching for. There are different ways of how you can show sub-collections on Shopify, and in this video I'm going to show you two different ways. The first way is by showing your sub-collections within your navigation menu, and I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. And the second way is to show your sub-collections within your collection pages, and also I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's stop talking and let's move to my screen and let's start seeing how you can apply this to your Shopify store. Before moving forward with our topic, I want to take one moment of your time to invite you to do three things. First, I want to invite you to smash the like button because by liking this video, you will help it to reach more and more people. Second, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell because in this way you will get notified every time I publish a new video. And third, I want to invite you to sign up to the free workshop I'm currently offering. In this workshop, I show you the exact framework that you should be applying to your business in order to be able to attract, convert, and retain your customers. This workshop is totally free. You just need to click below and to sign up, and that's it. And now let's get back to our topic. So this is a Shopify store that I have built as an example for this tutorial. As you can see, I have in here a navigation menu, and in here I have divided my collections between men, women, and accessories. And in this store, I sell yoga outfits and yoga accessories. And to me, it made so much sense to divide products between women and men. And when you click here on women, you will see that I have other subcategories. So I have bottoms, and under bottoms I have pants and shorts. I have bras and tops, and under it I have more subcategories. And if I go to men, I have the same. If I go to accessories, I have also yoga props and outfit. It's very important to divide your products into collections and sub-collections that make sense to your customers. So keep this in mind while you are building your navigation menu. Now let's move to Shopify to see how we can create a navigation menu similar to this one to showcase your collections and your sub-collections. Well, here I am inside of Shopify. And the first thing you must do before you start creating your navigation menu is actually to create your collections and sub-collections. And it's very important to note that within Shopify, all collections are equal. So while you are creating your collections, you can't actually diversify between a sub-collection or a collection. But the difference would be on how we display those collections on our front end on our store. And this is how we will be differentiating between a collection, like a big collection, a main collection, and the sub-collections below this collection. So in order to create your collections, you need to go in here from your Shopify dashboard to products. You go under products to collections and you start creating your collections. I recommend you to create all the collections you have in mind, all the sub-collections you have in mind before moving to the second step, which is building up your navigation menu. I'm going to create one collection with you as an example in case you don't have any idea about how to create collections. Then we will move on to step number 2, and it is to create the navigation menu. So from collections, you click on create collection. And in here, you start by filling the name, the collection name. So you put, for example, in here, woman outfit. In here, you need to put the description of the collection. It doesn't need to be something very fancy. It could be something small. And in here, you decide how you are going to create this collection. Do you want it to be a manual collection where you assign products manually to the collection? Or do you want it to be an automated collection where products are automatically assigned to collections? Well, if you want to know more about collections and how to set them up within your Shopify store, I highly recommend you to check this video on my YouTube channel because it shows you everything you need to know about collections. But for now, and for this example, I'm going to go with the automated collection. Actually, this is my favorite type of collections, and you need to keep in mind that once you set up the collection type, you can't change it. So you can't go back to the collection and make it manual or make it automatic. So make sure that you are choosing smart from the beginning. I like to go with the automated collections because this makes my work way easier in the future when I add more products to my collections. When you create an automated collection, you need to have a rule or several rules of how products are assigned or added to this collection. So in this case, for example, I created a woman outfit. The easiest way would be to create a tag called woman outfit and to tag all the products that you want to have within this collection using this tag. So what we are going to do is here under conditions, we are going to tell Shopify that we need this following condition. We need the product tag to be equal to woman outfit. As simple as that, and I click on save. Now Shopify will adding all products that have this tag to this collection. However, since this is a new tag, so most probably I don't have any product tagged with this tag, so I'm going to go back to my products and I'm going to assign this tag to them. And I will show you how to do this. So I'm going to copy the tag from here and I will go back to my products. And I can do two things. Or I can go manually to each product and put the tag within the product information, or I can do bulk edit. And I'm going to show you the two things. Well, if I want to do the manual step, I will click on the product like this. And from here, from the right, under tags, I will assign the tag. So it could be woman outfit, and I will click on plus, and I will save. And now you will see that when I go to the outfit woman collection in here, I will find this product in here. Okay, so I have applied this rule that the product tag is equal to woman outfit, and I have added the tag to the product, and it's now showing within the collection. Now, the second option to add tags to products, and it's actually much more practical if you have a lot of products, is to do bulk edit. And you can either select your products like this and bulk edit them, or you can, for example, search based on a certain tag that you have used before, or based on your product titles or something like this, to be able to see in here the products that fit the women collection. So let's say, for example, I would go with, let's say, sets to see. I don't have a lot of products in here, but this is an example. So I know that the sets should be within the woman outfit collection. So I'm going to click here on select all, and I'm going to click on bulk edit. And now I have the bulk editor of Shopify. What I need to do is to go to columns in here and to show tags. So as you can see, this column is added in here, and I can add my tag directly in here. So I will click, I will paste the tag, I will do the same in here, and I will click save. So again, if you have a lot of products and you want to use tags to create your collections, using the bulk editor can be a very smart idea. I will leave now, and that's it. So this is how you create your collections and your sub-collections. And as I said before, I recommend you to create everything before moving to the next step, which is creating your navigation menu. Now, in order to create your navigation menu, you need to go to online store. And from here, you go to navigation. Many people actually feel a little bit confused with this step because Somehow they think that the navigation should be somewhere else, but it's in here under online store navigation. This is my main menu, the one you are seeing actually in here, and I will show you how I have assigned it to this part. This, for example, is my footer menu, so the menu you will see it at the end of the store, and this is a quick link menu. You can create many menus and like link to them within your store. And if you want to know more about navigations and how they work on Shopify, I also highly recommend you to check this video on my YouTube channel because it shows you everything, literally everything about navigations in detail. Now, let's consider creating a new navigation menu from scratch, so you will learn exactly how you create your own navigation menu and create collections and sub-collections. So now I will click on Add Menu, and I will call it, let's say, Updated Menu. And I will start building it up. The first thing I need to do is to build the first level of my navigation menu. So in here, for example, I have woman, man, and accessories. So I will start by creating these 3 categories. I will start by adding menu item. I will call it woman, or I can from here search for the collection called woman. If I have one, so this is the collection, and the name will be assigned in here directly. I will click on save. So this is the first item. Then I have man, so I will do the same. Under search, I will search for man. Obviously, I don't have a collection called man for some reason, so I will simply write man. And in here, instead of linking to my collection as an exception, I'm gonna put the hashtag. When I put a hashtag in here, it means that this item within the menu would not be clickable. It will not take people to any place. They will click on it, it will open the navigation menu only. And you will see how this is gonna work when we finish creating the menu. The third level would be accessories. So I'm going to see if I have an accessories collection. I have one, so that's it. So now I have woman, man, and accessories. I always recommend all my clients to have their main menu items as collections. So don't do what I have done for man. Actually create a woman collection and a full man collection and a full accessories collection. It's always good to have like the full collection, and when people go to this collection, they can use filters in order to filter between the products and what they might need. Okay, I always like to do this, to have like the main collections really existing, really linking and showing all the products. I always like to have my main collections active. People can visit them, can filter, can explore the whole collection if they want. Some people might want to go to sub-collections, but others might prefer to explore everything and use filters. So allow them to do this. So now I have my 3 levels, like in here. So I have woman, man, and accessories. And I want to start creating those levels in here. So as you can see, now as a second level, I have bottoms, bras and tops, accessories, featured, and Serenity sets. So I'm going back in here to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to add a menu item. I will, let's see, what was it in here? It was bottoms. So I'm gonna search for the bottoms collection. Perfect. I will add it. Now I don't want the bottoms collection to be equal to the woman, man, and accessories collection. I want it to be under the woman collection. So I'm gonna select it and I'm going to drag it like this under the woman collection. So as you can see, it's now a second level under the woman collection. And in this way, I have created my second level. Let me continue and create the second one, which is bras and tops. So I will click on add. Let's see if I have a collection called bras and tops. I don't have one. So I'm going to use the same trick I have used before by adding the hashtag in here. But again, in your case, I highly recommend you to have all your collections already ready and linking to them. Okay, so in this way, I have created level 1 and level 2. I will not continue creating the other ones because now you know how to do it. What I would be doing now is to add the sub-collections, which are pants and shorts in this case, for example. So I go in here, I click on add a menu item, and let's say it's bras. I don't have the collection. So let's say it's pants. I don't actually have a collection, so I'm going to use the same trick and click on save. So now I have this in here, but it's actually in the same level as bottoms and bras and tops. But in reality, I want it to be under bottoms. So I will do the same thing. I will select, move it in here, and put it under bottoms. I have the first level. And in this way, as you can see, I have my navigation menu 3 levels. I have the woman, the bottoms, the pants. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? And that's it. With the same logic, you go back in here, for example, and you create, let's see what we have in here, tank tops, for example. You move it to be below bra and tops, and in this way, I have also in here the 3 levels, so 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, this is how you create your navigation menu. Now let me show you how the navigation menu we now have looks like in reality. So I will go to navigations, I will go to main menu, and as you can see, we have woman, man, accessories. If I click under woman, I have bottoms, bras and tops, accessories, features, and serenity sets. If I click on bottoms, I will see the sub-collections. If I click on bras, I will see the sub-collections. If I click on accessories, I will see the sub-collections as well. I hope that this was clear enough, but mainly this is it. If you need more help, just rewatch this section, and that's it. That's how you create different levels on your navigation menu. Now, once you create your menu, we need to know how to show it on our front end, on our store. And here you need to go to online store, you go to customize, and this will open your theme editor. So everything related to how your store will appear or look to your visitors. Once you are here, your navigation menu, your main menu, is the one showing in your header section. Okay, and your header section is the section you are seeing in here. So this is the header section. When you click on your header, and this will be a little different depending on the theme you are using, but it's most probably the same logic. This is the Dawn theme. I have used it as an example because it's a free theme and many people are using it, but it will be almost the same no matter what theme you are using. So from here, as you can see under the header section, you have different options. But the main option that we are talking about now, or we are discussing now, is the option that allows you to change your menu or to select what menu you want to use in this area in here. So as you can see, I have selected my main menu, which is the menu that we have seen a few minutes ago. If I want to change this menu, I can click on change, and I will click on change menu. And I can select, for example, the menu that I have just created. So in your case, if you have just created your main menu, you need to link it in here. And once you do that, it takes few seconds or sometimes a minute to show this live on your store. So as you can see, now I have the one I have created. Okay, but definitely the previous one was the correct one, so I'm going to change it again and put it back. So this is my main menu, and I click on select. So as you can see, this is the first way of how you can showcase collections and sub-collections within your Shopify store. And this, in my opinion, is one of the most important ways. It's very easy to apply, and the navigation menu is a very important element for any Shopify store. It's very important for user experience and to make sure that you are increasing your conversion rate, because the easier you allow your customers to find what they are searching for, to find your products, the easier it would be for them to convert and buy from you. And now you can either stop this video and go and build up your navigation menu and link it to your Shopify store, or you can continue watching this video and show the second way of how you can show sub-collections on your Shopify store, and believe me, you are going to like this method. It's not only very user-friendly, but it also makes your store look way nicer and much more professional. Okay, so if you are interested about making your store look better, making it more user-friendly, make your sub-collections stand out, make sure to continue watching this video up until the end. The second way that you can use in order to show your sub-collections is to actually have a main collection, and within this main collection, you showcase your sub-collections as icons or images at the top section of the collection. I know this seems a little bit complicated, so the best way to understand it is to move to my screen to show you an example so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is one of my clients' store, and in here you can see that on the navigation menu we have so many items, but let's say under drinks we have tea, hot chocolate, and in-cup drinks. So under this main collection, which is drinks, we have 3 sub-collections. This was our first way to showcase the sub-collections by showing them within the navigation menu, and you already know how to do that now. Our second way was through creating this section, as you can see it in here, at the top of the collection page. So I'm within the drinks collection page, and I have this section in here that divides the products between tea, hot chocolate, and others. If I click on tea, for example, I will be moved to the tea collection. If I go back now and I click on hot chocolate, I can see the hot chocolate collection. Again, same for the third sub-collection. I have used the same structure for this collection as well, for example, to showcase the different sub-collections, and I have used it in here for disposable. As you can see, if I click, I have my 3 main sub-collections in here. Okay, so how you can do this, and most importantly, how you can do this in the smartest and most effective way? Well, there is actually 2 ways of how we can set up this within your collection pages, and I'm going to show you both of them. I want you to be patient and to watch what's coming slowly in order to understand well how I have created something similar to this and how you can create something similar to this on your own store. Now let me go back to my Shopify store to see how this is gonna work. So this is my current store. If I go now, for example, to the women's collection, if I preview it, let's say, I will see that if I go to this collection, I have all the products listed in here. So I don't have anything special. I don't have categories or something. I only have the product listed. So how I'm going to create something similar to this? Well, there are 2 ways of how we can create this, and I'm going to show you each one of them. If you want to have this structure like the subcategories showing at the top for one collection page, there is one way to do it. If you want it to be like for multiple collection pages, there is another way to do it. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's yet simple, and you are going to see how to do it also in this video. So let me go back in here to Shopify. I will go to online store and I will click on customize. And from here, I will choose to start modifying or to start working on my collections, on my templates. So in here, you can see that I have like the default collection page template, and I can create more templates. Well, for some people, this is a little bit complicated, so hear me well. These in here are the templates or the structures of your pages. By default, in every Shopify theme, we have one default collection page template and one default product page template. And you can go with it. This is the normal collection page template. So if I click in here, I will see my collection page. I have the title, I have the products listed, I have the filters, and that's it. And it is applied by default. You can see it's applied to my 7 collections. So it's by default applied to all of my collections. But when I start thinking about like creating something new, something different, or adding a different section, I need to start thinking about creating a new template. So if I want, for example, to add this section in here, to add or to add a similar section to this one, I need to create a new template where this section exists. So I will click on create template, and I will call it woman, since this is the template that I'm going to use for the women's collection. I know this seems a little bit complicated and confusing, but stay with me and just follow the steps and you will be able to create your template and assign it and everything. So I'm calling it woman, and I will click on create template. So as you can see, now I'm changing the template called woman. I'm not changing the default collection template. In here, I can choose what collection I want to preview while I'm working. So I can change, for example, between the different collections if I want. I will stick to women since this is the collection I'm actually working on. Well, what I'm going to do is to go to the template, and this is the template area in here. It's what I'm seeing directly in here. So I have the header, which is this section. I have the footer, which is the section at the end. And in here I have the template. What I'm going to do is to click on add section, and I can add two types of sections. Either I can add the collection list section, so I can scroll and add the collection list section, which can work. So I'm going to edit and move it up at the top, and in this way I will be linking to my sub collections in here. So I will click on the first collection and I will select, for example, under women I had bottoms, so I select the bottoms collection in here. Then let's say the second sub collection would be, for example, a full set. I will select the full set. Then I will go back, and for the third one I will choose tops, for example. And in this way I display my sub collections in here. I can add more sub collections if I wish, like this. And let me see if I can add or change the grid. So I click on collection list in here to see. Now, in order for me to know if I can change the grid, so I have like more items in the same row, because I don't like to have an item on one row, I click on collection list in here. And in here I can, for example, remove the heading. I will remove it actually. I can change the image ratio. Do I want it square or portrait or adapt to image? Let's go with portrait, let's say. I think square is nicer, it's smaller. And in here I can like change the number of columns on desktop. I will make it, let's say, 5. I think it looks nice this way. I can change the color scheme, and I can play around with the mobile layout. The settings you are seeing in here for the collection list will differ depending on the theme you are using actually, but most of the themes have a collection list section, and it works almost in the same way. Now going back in here, let's say I have added my fifth sub collection. I can assign in here a collection, call it, for example, again, accessories, and for the last one I will select my, let's say, last sub collection, and I will click on save. Now the second thing I need to do after like finishing the template, because I have already like created my sub collections, what I need to do is to go back to Shopify. We go to products, I go to collections, and from here I go to women. And in here on the right, I need to assign the template that I have just created to this page. By this way, I'm actually telling Shopify that for this collection page, I want to show the template where the sub collections are showing. Okay, now when I preview this page, I can see that I have the sub collections above. Well, this is very good. It's a very quick way to set up sub collections. So this is the first way of how you can create sub collections. There is also a second way that you can create those sub collections within your page, and it is to go to online store. And this time, instead of adding the collection list section, we add a different section. So I'm going in here to homepage, again to collections. I'm changing the woman template. And this time, instead of showing collection list, I will add a different section. And the options in here will differ again, depending on the theme you are using. But again, most themes have like either a logo list or a column, multi-column section that you can use for this, let's say, to get the same feeling and vibes as the ones I'm going to create now. So in here, I will see if we have logo list. I don't think there is one. Let me search. So we don't have one, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the multi-column. So this is a section where you can show like different elements. So I'm going to move it up in here. And the main difference between this section and this could be like, for example, I don't want to have my titles in here. I want only to have photos. So this can help. And I will add, let's say, 5 columns. I will click on the multi-column and I will do the same thing I have done in here. This time I will tell Shopify that if I go back in here, you can see I clicked on the multi-column section itself to modify the settings. And I will remove the title. I will make the columns be 5. Let's say 5, not 6. So they are this way. Now what I can do is actually remove all of these because I want to make my work easier. So I'm going to remove all the columns. I will start with the first one. I will remove all content within this one. And what I will do actually is I will select an image. So let's say this is gonna be this one. In here, I will link to the collection. So it's collections, let's say mats. And I will go back. Okay, what I can do now is I simply can click here on the inspector. I can click on this column, and from when I scroll down, it allows you usually to duplicate from here. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, actually I wanted to have 5. Okay. What I need now is to go to each of these columns and change the image from here. So I click here on select from library. I select a different image. I need to scroll down in here and change the link. Then I do the same for all of these columns. So this section in here has a button. I will actually remove it. I will click on the section. I will scroll. When you remove the label of the button, it usually disappears. And I will click on save. So as you can see, these are 2 ways of how we can showcase your, let's say, sub-collections. I will hide this one and save this template. And now when I go back in here and I will refresh this page, I will see my new sub-collection section. What we have done so far is amazing. If you want to have your sub-collections set up only for one collection, in this way you can create the template and simply assign it to your collection page. But let's say you want to have all of your collections with the same template, have all your collections showing sub-collections, or maybe some of your collections showing sub-collections and others not showing sub-collections. How you can do that? Stay with me and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So now we have learned how to add or how to show sub-collections within your collection page. But let's say you want to do this not only for one collection, you want to do this for all of your main collections, or maybe to 3 or 4 collections. So how we can do this in a smart way? Well, there are 2 ways of how we can replicate the same work for other collections. Either you continue creating templates. So we have created the woman template. You can, for example, create a men's template, or you can create, for example, an accessory template. And every time you create the template, you go back to the Shopify backend and you assign the template to the collection page, like we have done with the woman collection. Or you create a template with dynamic fields. Again, hear me out, it's not as complicated as it sounds. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And this is exactly what I have done to this client, and I'm going to show you also how I have did it on his store. Okay, so let's move to my screen and let's start seeing how we can do this. So again, I want you to go to Shopify, and from here go to online store and click on customize. And what we are going to do now is to create a general collection page template with sub-collections. So I'm going to home page. I will click on collections and I will click on create a template. And I will call this one, let's say, collection with subs. Okay, and this is gonna be the template that I will use to all of my collections who have sub-collections, or where I want to show sub-collections. And I go in here and I click on add section. And I can do this through either type of sections, either the multi-column or using the collection list. It works with the same logic. So let's say I'm using the collection list. I will add this one. I will move it again up, but this time, instead of assigning the collections in here, I will assign a dynamic source. Remember, in the step before, we have clicked in here and we have selected a collection. So we told Shopify, this is a collection that I'm going to show in this template. In this case, if we do that, I'm going to show you what happens. So let's say I selected accessories and I click on select and I click on save. Okay, I'm going back to Shopify and I will go to my collections, and I will go to women, and I will assign the new template. I will click on save. If I click on view, I will see this sub-collection in here. Now, if I go to another collection, let's say if I go to the, say, accessories collection, and I choose the same template, and I will click on save, and I click on view, I will see the same sub-collection in here. So I'm seeing the same sub-collection, but in reality, I don't want to have the same sub-collections. I want to have different sub-collections. So instead of assigning the collection directly in here, we need to use dynamic sources. So I click on customize, I go in here, I go to collections, I go to collection with subs, and now when I click on this block in here, I will remove this one actually, and I will select in here, click here on connect dynamic source. Stay with me. I will click on connect dynamic source, and Shopify will be telling me that I need to create a meta field for this one. So I will create meta field. I will click on add meta field. I will in here, as you can see, Shopify is allowing me to create a meta field. So if you don't know anything about meta fields, this step would be a little bit like confusing to you. Meta fields are a not very new thing, but it's fairly new on Shopify. It allows you to add new fields to your existing pages. So let's say you are defining a collection page. You can decide the title, the descriptions, maybe add some photos, add the tags, and that's it. With this feature in here, we are creating a new field for our collection page. So we are adding a field that we want and we need. In our case in here, we are adding the sub-collections fields. Also, again, stay with me, follow my steps, and you will be able to figure it out. So I'm going to call this field sub-collection1, and the type would be in here collection, and I will click on save. Now when I go back to my women's collection, for example, in here, and I scroll down, I notice that a new field has been created, which is the sub-collection. This field was not there before I have created it. So again, let me do it one more time. I will go to settings, I will go to custom data, I will go to collections because I'm creating meta fields for collections. I will click on add definition. I will create a second meta field. I will call it subcollection 2. As type, I will choose collection, and I will click on save. If you don't know anything about meta fields and you want to know more about them, you can check these 2 videos on this YouTube channel. They will help you to figure them out more, or you can leave any question in the comment section below and I would be more than happy to reply. Also, continue watching this tutorial because while watching it, you will understand more and more. Okay, so I have created my second meta field. Now, when I go back to my collection page, I will notice that a new meta field has been created. So what does this mean practically? It means that I can tell Shopify that for this collection page, I have 2 new fields dedicated for this page. They are the subcollection 1 and subcollection 2. So for the subcollection 1, I will choose the bottoms collection. And for the subcollection 2, I will choose the tops collection. And I will click on save. Okay? Now I will go back in here, and when I click on select dynamic source, Shopify will be showing me the fields that I have just created. So subcollection 1, if I go in here to the second one, I will choose subcollection 2 and I will save. You need for sure to create a subcollection 3 for the third column. Now, as you can see, I have these 2 set up in here. If I change the collection from women to, for example, full set, I don't see them because I didn't fill those meta fields for this sub-collection, or for this, because I didn't fill those meta fields for this collection. So let me go back In here, we are taking as examples the women and the accessories collection. So we have filled the meta fields for the women collection. Let me go to collections, to accessories, and let's fill those meta fields for this collection. So as sub-collection 1, I will choose mats. For sub-collection 2, I will choose, let's say, also mats because I don't have anything relevant, and I will click on save. Again, for this collection, I have assigned my template, as you can see in here, and I have done the same for my women collection. If I go back in here and I refresh my accessories page, I can see my 2 new sub-collections. If I go in here and I refresh, I can see my 2 sub-collections. So, using meta fields, I have created new fields on my collection page, and I was able to create something dynamic within my page template. Now let's say instead of using the collection list section, you decided to use the multi-column section. For this section, you would need to create different meta fields. So let's do this together. It will get you more familiar with how to use meta fields, and hopefully this will help you to set up this on your store easier. So from here again, we go to customize, and again we go to collections, and we go to our collections with subs, the same template. This time we are going to hide this section, and we are going to add the multi-column section. And we will move it up. Okay, so again I will remove the text, and I will go to each column. I don't need the text within the column. The only thing that I need is the image and the link. So I will remove all content. Okay, I will go to my first column in here. And this time, instead of selecting an image, I will do the same. I will select a dynamic source. So I will click on Connect Dynamic Source. So Shopify will be telling me to add the meta field. You can use the image, which is I guess the default collection page image. If you have it, it will be there. And then I will click in here, and Shopify will be telling me to add a new meta field. And this time, the meta field type should be image because this is what I'm adding. So I will click on Add Meta Field. And from here, Shopify directly took me into the meta field creation. I will call it Subcollection 1 image. And under type, which is the most important thing, I will go down to files. There is a file 1. And under file, I can choose whether it is an image or video or only an image. I will keep it as it is and click on save. This is not enough because I have 3 subcollections, so I will create another subcollection image. I will call it Subcollection 2 image. And this time again, the type would be file. I will click on save. And I will create the third one, which is Subcollection 3 image. And I will also make it as a file. And in this way, I have created my 3 subcollection images. Okay, so I can go in here, go back, and from here, I will choose the subcollection 1. I will go back to the second column. I will choose under image the subcollection 2 because the second column is the one showcasing the second subcollection. When I go to the third one, I will choose the subcollection 3. Now everything is empty because I didn't set up any content within the meta fields. I will do that and I will show you everything. So now we have set up the first part, which is the image, but it's not enough because we want the image to be clickable. So the second thing we need to set up is the link. And again, this link could be dynamic. So you click in here and you need to create the meta field. You click on Add Meta Field. So this time it should be Subcollection 1 link, and as type it should have the URL type. So you type URL and URL, and that's it. You click on save, and we need to create 2 more of it. So I will create the second one as another example for you. So subcollection, and under type also same. I will click on save. and we still need to create the third one. So same logic, this time it's 3 and the same type. Once I create those meta fields, I go back in here and under the link section, I click here and I choose link 1 for the first one, for the first column. I will go to the second one and I will choose link 2. I will go to the third one and I will choose link 3. Now I have everything set up. What I need to do is to go to my collections and assign like the content of these meta fields. So back in here, when I go to products, to collections, if I go to women collection and I scroll down, I can see all the new meta fields that I have created. I will click in here to assign the first image. And I need to, in here, paste the link of the collection. So let me go to my store. Let's say I'm gonna take this one. So I paste the link in here. And you need to do the same for the other meta fields. I will click on, and you need to do the same for the other meta fields. And I will click on save, and I will go back in here, and I will click on view. And now, as you can see, this is showing in here. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video and for staying up until the end. I truly appreciate that. In this video, you have learned everything you need to know in order to be able to set up your sub-collections or your subcategories on your Shopify store. If you have any question, don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section below, and I would be more than happy to help you out. Before leaving, I want to remind you to like this video if you found it helpful, and to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell, because in this way you will get notified each time I publish a new video. See you soon. Bye bye.